Hello my fellow gamers and welcome back to the next episode of the Vampire Coast full roster breakdown. We're nearly done, guys. We've nearly done it. Just bear with me. Just a few more episodes to go and we would have covered everything. I really want to thank everyone that has been taking part so far, been commenting and liking and subscribing, and yeah, just any feedback is greatly appreciated. Let's jump straight in. We are doing the missile monsters and beasts this time, and we're starting with the deck droppers. Now these guys, it's just an ingenious idea. Just pirates being flown by bats. That is so Warhammer Fantasy. I absolutely love it. So flying pistol cavalry. They start at 450 gold. They have a special ranged weapon apparently, and they can fire whilst moving. Though I suspect their aim must be awful if you ever see them flapping. So let's have a look. Their weapon strength for their melee is weapon damage of 20, armor piercing damage of 2. But when we look at the missile damage, it is a missile damage of 24, and armor piercing missile damage of 6. Reload time 8.1 seconds. That's impressive, being they have to reload while being flapped about in the air. I like it. They cause fear, they can fast while moving, and they've got all the usual rules, including extra powder. Now these guys cost between 21 and 29 gold per Sevron, and when you get into the top tier, they cost 677 gold altogether. What do you get for that? 10 leadership, 6 melee attack, 9 melee defense, and missile damage up by 8. So let's just have a comparison here. Normally it's missile damage 24, armor piercing 6. When you upgrade it to the top, it's exactly the same, but the reload time's quicker. Gotcha. Okay then, so then it does more damage quicker because they can shoot quicker. Okay then, so that is for them. Again, you know how I feel about the Severns at this point. A lot of these cheaper stuff, I just wouldn't bother. You know, these guys are meant to be just kind of light harassment and things like that. So I wouldn't put too much money into them, because if they get picked out and lost, there's nothing really lost about it. So we'll move on to the next one now, which is the deck dropper bombers, which are anti-infantry variant. Now I assume their weapon strength is probably exactly the same. 20 weapon damage, 2 armor piercing. Is that correct? Yes it is. So I expect they're all going to be like that. They do have a flaming attacks though, because of course they are dropping bombs. Their missile damage is split between missile damage is only 1, armor piercing missile damage is 0, but that's because they're dropping bombs. So the explosive base damage is 19, and the explosive armor piercing damage is 6, and the reload time for each bomb is 12.6 seconds. These guys have got the standard. They have got cause fear. They've got the extra powder. They don't have to move or fire whilst moving, because of course they've got to go above the target and drop the bomb. They cost 24 to 34 gold to upgrade each Sevron, and very similar to before, 10 leadership, 6 melee attack, 9 melee defense, 4 missile damage. I suspect that's purely the reload speed. And at the top tier, it's 866. So to get them from a basic to the top, for what I think is very little game, will cost you 266 gold. That is a lot of gold to spend on very little gain, to be honest. So I wouldn't worry too much, especially being this melee attack, melee defense. They're flyers. If they're in melee, something's gone wrong. So we'll move on now. They do have a regiment of renown, which is the Salt Lord Scuttlers. They've got armor piercing missiles. They have, why has that disappeared? There we go. Armor piercing missiles, special ranged weapons, and armor sundering. Very nice. I expect their weapon strength for close combat is exactly the same. It is. Ammunition causes flaming attacks, and they've got armor piercing and sundering. So for 10 seconds, anything they hit with their bombs loses 30 armor for 10 seconds. The bombing ability is 0 missile damage, 1 armor piercing missile damage, explosive base damage 6, explosive armor piercing damage 15, reload time 9.8 seconds. So yeah, every 10 seconds you can drop a bomb on a different target and they'll lose 30 armor for 10 seconds. So I can just imagine these guys flying above when the two main lines clash, like the front lines, as you always have in these games. These guys just fly over and just every 10 seconds drop, move on, drop, move on, drop, move on, and just drop on every target, causing damage and of course making them lose their armor as well, which is pretty good. So that is the Regiment of Renown. They cost 900 gold, so they're actually a bit more expensive than the top tier normal bombers. And looking at the stats are exactly the same, apart from their missile damage goes down by 2. But of course they do have the whole armor sundering, and that's mainly what you're paying for. 900 gold, flies of armor piercing missiles that can drop and cause all sorts of chaos. Love to hear people's thoughts on if they've used this Regiment of Renown and how it performs compared to, because that's quite a lot, 900 gold. But if used right, I could see him doing, shifting the tide of the smaller skirmishes and things like that. Next, we have the deck droppers of handgunners. So they've got armor piercing missiles and anti-infantry. Weapon strength is exactly the same as the others. They do have, obviously, armor piercing missiles. The missile damage is 14. The armor piercing missile damage is 33. Reload time 11.7 seconds. And again, cause fear, black powder, so extra powder, and all of the normal undead stats. To upgrade these, you are looking at 26 to 37 gold per Sevron, and you get 10 leadership, 6 melee attack, 9 melee defense, and 8 missile damage if you get them to the top tier. So for the top tier, it goes from 700 to 992. So to get these guys to the top tier, you're looking at getting them to nearly 1,000 gold, which I can take your hands down is not worth it. You can get so many better things for 1,000 gold. 700, probably useful. Good harassment, get behind the enemy's lines, get behind the shields of the front line and pepper them with that. But apart from that, I would not want to sever these guys up. And then finally for this category, we have the Rotten Prometheus Gunnery Mob, which starts at 1,350. They have armor piercing, they're defended, aquatic, and fire whilst moving. So for the creatures themselves in close combat, they do have armor piercing. Their weapon strength is split between weapon damage of 22, armor piercing damage of 55. And I assume the missile damage, that is 31, is split between missile damage of 10, armor piercing missile damage of 2, the number of projectiles is 3, and the reload time is 11.7 seconds. And these guys have the siege attacker, they cause a fear, they do have a charge defense versus large, as well as the hiding, the undead, and extra powder. To upgrade these, you are looking, and quite rightfully so, these are big monsters here, 39 to 56 gold per Sevron. So if you want to get from the bottom tier of 1,350 to the top tier, it would then go up to 1,811. So you're talking, 400 gold there to get it to the top level? That's a lot. That's a lot of gold. But 400 gold, what does that give you? 10 leadership, 7 melee attack, 15 melee defense, and 6 missile damage. Now this, I've got to admit, I would be tempted to upgrade these. Purely because of, they're gunners, but they can get in there and rip up heavy infantry because of the armor piercing and such. Their weapon strength, and that's really good. So this might be worth investing. But before we put our money down on that one, they do have a Regiment of Renown, which are called the Leper's Revenge. So they've got armor piercing, regeneration, defender, and aquatic. The basic unit costs 1,350. The fully upgraded unit costs 1,811. So it's really interesting that the Regiment of Renown, that has better stats than the full tiered one, only costs 1,500. So that's only 150 gold more than the basic Rotten Prometheus Gunnery Mob. 150 gold. So if you were going to get a group of these, I would hands down immediately say, get the Legendary of Renown, spend the extra 150 gold, and yeah, compared to the top tier one, they've got missile damage 2 plus, so they're the same stats as the top one, but a good 311 gold cheaper. So yeah, if you were going to go these guys, the Russian Prometheans, I'll be really tempted just to go, you know what, hit the 150 extra gold, get the Regiment of Renown, job done. So what do they have? Well, of course, as I said, armor piercing, regeneration, defender, aquatic. Their weapon strength has armor piercing, should be the same. Weapon damage 22, armor piercing damage 55. The missile damage is split 10 for missile damage, 2 to armor piercing, and number of projectiles 3, reload time 9.1 seconds. They have siege attacker, cause fear, expert charge defend. Right, so these guys neglect the charge of any attacker, not just large, any, which is definitely worth getting. And they've got regeneration. So they do have 25% weakness to fire because of that, but they just constantly heat up. And of course they've got the extra powder. So would I go for this Regiment Renowned? If I was going to go for one of these units, yes, hands down, I would definitely go for one of these over the standard, the 150 gold, for getting what they want to charge you over 400 gold for. You can get for 150 and get regen and all that. So why would you not? So guys, there we go. A nice quick wrap up for this one. The next episode is going to be even quicker because it's artillery and war machines, where there's 3 of them. One of them's a Regiment of Renown. So that's going to be a very quick episode. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Do hit that like button. Do subscribe if you haven't already. And do comment below on your thoughts on these units. And just generally the Vampire Coast overall. Love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Till then, guys, take care.